Hi students, today we are back with one more video related to SSS and RHS congruency from triangles. So here what is already in the previous videos we discussed what is RHS congruency, what is ACH congruency, what is ASA congruency and explanation about it. Okay, angle side angle and side angle side. Okay, so these two congruencies also in this come in the same like pattern, but here you understand yes congruency in the sense how this side means in the as we discussed in the previous videos. SAS congruency means we used to like compare the side corresponding sides of two triangles, corresponding angle and side angle side. So here the difference is here it is side. It means here we are not having angle in between. The difference is here all are of three sides only. We don't have any angle here. So just let me read the statement. If three sides of one triangle are equal to the three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent to each other. It means let me consider two triangles ABC, triangle ABC and triangle DEF. In these two triangles, you observe AB is equal to DE, means the side AB and side DE are equal to each other, and BC is equal to EF. Again, BC is also equal to EF, and again other corresponding side AC is equal to DF. So AB is equal to DE, AC is equal to DF, and BC is equal to EF. If all these corresponding sides are equal to each other, then we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. I'll just repeat once again. If three sides of one triangle are equal to the three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. It means in these two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle DEF, AB, the side AB is equal to the side DE, and side BC is equal to the side EF, and as well as side AC is equal to the corresponding side EF. It means in these two triangles, the corresponding sides are only equal. I am not even like explaining or telling the relation between the angles. The angles are not even like considering here. I'm just considering only the corresponding sides of these two triangles. So whenever we are comparing two triangles, if the corresponding sides are equal, then we can directly say that they are congruent to each other. No need to check the angles. If they are congruent to each other, of course angles should be equal. I hope you understood. Okay, SSS congruence rule says in any two triangles, if the corresponding sides of the two triangles are equal to each other, then we can say that those two triangles are congruent to each other. Next, coming to the next rule, RHS congruence rule. See, the name says RHS. Here we can write here side, okay, side, and here RHS means, so many people will get confused. RHS means right hand side, not like that, right? It is actually RHS means right angle, okay, hypotenuse, right angle, hypotenuse and side. Okay, it means RHS expansion is right angle, hypotenuse and side. Let me read the statement. If in two right triangles are you can also write that right angle triangle. If in two right triangles the hypotenuse on one side of one triangle are equal to the hypotenuse on one side of the other triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. It means, let me consider two right angle triangles. Remember, this congruence rule is applicable only for right angle triangles. This congruence rule is not applicable for another type of triangles. Okay, this is applicable only for right angle triangles. Okay, so what is the statement? If in two right triangles, the hypotenuse on one side of one triangle are equal to the hypotenuse and one side of another triangle, then two triangles are congruent. I'll just explain with example. Here two triangles we have taken, PQR and LMN. In these two triangles, PR, hypotenuse, is equal, PR is equal to LN, and PQ is equal to LM. See how this side PQ and LM corresponding sides are equal, and hypotenuse. See, side, this is done. Side, corresponding sides of two triangles are equal, and one side is equal, and hypotenuse is also equal, hypotenuse is equal, and one right angle is there, that is also equal. So the right angle is done. See, first one is right angle. So corresponding right angles are equal, correct? Corresponding sides of two triangles are equal, and hypotenuses of corresponding hypotenuses are also equal. Then we can say that triangle PQR is congruent to triangle LMN. Remember, then I'm just repeating the same thing. This is applicable only for right angle triangles. Okay. So what it says, if in two right triangles, the hypotenuse and one side of one triangle are equal to the hypotenuse and one side of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. It means, let me consider an example. In triangle PQR and LMN, hypotenuse, first is right angle. So right angle, so triangle angle Q is equal to angle M. So this is satisfied. This is equal. We are considering they are equal. And PQ is equal to M. Side corresponding PQ corresponding side, they are also equal. And hypotenuse PR and hypotenuse LM, they are also equal. So we can say that these two triangles are congruent to each other. Okay. So let me do some sums based on this. Yes, guys, well, we are going with this sum. Let me read the sum. Triangle ABC and triangle DBC are two isosceles triangles on the same base BC, and vertices A and D are on the same side of BC. And if AD is extended to intersect BC at P, show that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD and triangle ABP is congruent to triangle ACP. Here, guys, you have to understand. There are two triangles here. Just observe here, ABD and ADC. As I told you, you should read the sum carefully so that you will understand what is the given. If you know given, see, most of the sums, they only give the equality of sides. For example, if they are giving two, we have to prove that these two triangles are equal. So most of the cases, they will only, in the sum only, you will come to know which corresponding sides are equal, which corresponding angles are equal. That is the reason. First, every time I'll say to read the sum properly. So triangle ABC and triangle DBC are two isosceles triangles on the same base. Okay. Okay. What is the same base here? We have BC. Correct. BC we have two triangles, which is DBC. Correct. And another is the triangle ABC. See, ABC is one isosceles triangle and DBC is the another isosceles triangle. They are clearly telling ABC and DBC are two isosceles triangles and they are located on the same base, and vertices A and D are on the same side of BC, and this AD is extended such that it meets the point P. Okay. This is given. So how to prove? First one, let me take, we have to consider triangles ABD and ACD. Okay. In the triangles ABD and ACD, here one thing you observe, common side is AD. Can I write AD is equal to AD? Because it is a common side. Correct? AD is equal to AD because it is a common side. And also, can I write AB is equal to AC? Why? Because they clearly given that they are equal. Why? Because it's an isosceles triangle. In isosceles triangle, obviously, the two sides should be equal. So which two sides? AB should be equal to AC. Correct? That is given, and AD is equal to AD because it is the common side. Correct? See, we are considering these two triangles, ABD and ADC, sorry. these two triangles, which is the common side? AD. AD is there for both the triangles. So AD is the common side. So one side we got, and AB is equal to AC because these two are isosceles triangles. So obviously AB should be equal to AC. That is given. They only given. And also they are given triangle DBC is also an isosceles triangle. Correct? If they given the triangle DBC is an isosceles triangle, then definitely DB should be equal to DC. So can I write DB is equal to DC? Because that is also given. Here you observe three sides are equal, correct? Okay? They clearly told that corresponding three sides of two triangles are equal. So we can say that by SSS congruency, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD. Okay, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle ACD. So I'll just explain this part once again. Here we have a triangle ABC, given triangle ABC, and we have AD, and it is just extended to P. So that here you observe ABD is one triangle, ADC another triangle, or ACD is another triangle. So what we have to prove? We have to prove that this triangle is congruent to this triangle. So how do we prove? And they clearly said that ABC means the triangle ABC is a right angled triangle, isosceles triangle. And also they told triangle BDC is also an isosceles triangle. See, first line you read, triangle ABC and triangle DBC are two isosceles triangles on the same base. They are clearly saying that these two triangles are formed on the same base BC and also isosceles triangles. What do you mean by that? They clearly given the one condition already. What is that? AB is equal to AC as well as DB is equal to DC because they are isosceles triangles. Very simple. And we are considering those two triangles and the addition AD is equal to AD because why? It is the common side of both the triangles, and AB is equal to AC and DB is equal to DC. Just now we discussed that. It's given. So by SSS congruency, side congruency, side and side, we can say that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle AC. That's all. That's very simple. Next, we will go with the next congruency. What is that? So triangle ABP is congruent to triangle ACP. Okay, triangle ABP is congruent to triangle ACP. Correct. So ABP, remember ABP means hold this triangle, correct? And APC means this triangle, or ACP means this. So we have to prove that those two triangles are congruent. Okay. So in this also one condition is same. What is that? AB is equal to AC. Correct. AB is equal to AC because it is given. Correct. And also you observe ABP. BP is equal to PC. Here observe that BP is equal to PC. Why BP is equal to PC? Because it is P is midpoint. Obviously remember that whenever you draw one perpendicular from A and which touches at P, definitely it is the midpoint. Okay, it is the midpoint. Alright. Okay, BP is equal to PC. Why? Because it is midpoint. Okay, correct. P is the midpoint. Any doubt? You can carefully listen once again. We are like proving the congruency of these two triangles. What is it? ABP and ACP. In these two triangles, AB is equal to AC because it is already given their isosceles triangles. And DC is equal to PC. Why? Because P is the midpoint. Always, whenever you draw a perpendicular from A onto the base BC, definitely it should be the midpoint. It will divide the base into two equal parts. So if P is the midpoint, the length between BP and PC should be equal. So BP is equal to PC as well as AB is equal to AC. And one more thing you observe, AP means which is the common side. Correct? A common side is there in between both the triangles, which is AP. So by SSS congruency, we can say that triangle ABP is congruent to triangle ACP. That is the second proof. Okay, I'll just repeat once again. In the second proof, we have to consider two triangles, ABP, this full triangle, and ACP, this another triangle. So in these two triangles, we already know that AB is equal to AC because it is an isosceles triangle. We already the same we used for the last proof also. So AB is equal to AC. And BP is equal to PC. Why PP is equal to PC? Here you have to understand one thing carefully. This is an altitude. Understood? AP is the altitude which is drawn on BC. So obviously altitude or median whatever that will divide the triangle base. What is the base here? BC. It will divide, means AP will divide the base BC into two equal parts. It means what? P is the midpoint. If P is the midpoint, BP distance and PC distance must be equal. So BP is equal to PC. And also one common side is there, which is at AP. So AP is equal to AP because it is common side for both the triangles. So by using SSS congruency, we can conclude that triangle ABP is congruent to triangle ACP. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, that's all. Next, guys, we have some properties we should remember. Okay, first one is if two sides of a triangle are unequal, the angle opposite to the longer side is greater. It is logically you can understand this. It's not a difficult one. You have to use your brain in this case. If two sides of triangle are unequal, in this case you see guys, AB and BC are unequal. So imagine that they are unequal sides. Okay, AB is not equal to AC. There is no any rule that AB should be equal to AC, right? So AB is not equal to BC. We'll consider. Okay, we have two sides which are unequal here. Okay. Fine. So if these two unequal sides are there, okay, AB is not equal to BC, then definitely opposite. What is the opposite side for this? AC. So AC should be longer. I am just considering triangle ABC and I am applying the statement there. So what is the statement says? If any two sides of a triangle are unequal, okay, imagine that in triangle ABC and AB is not equal to BC, AB and BC are unequal. So if AB and BC are unequal, opposite side of this unequal sides is a longer side. So AC should be longer or bigger. Okay? Understood? If two sides of a triangle are unequal, it means in this considering ABC, in ABC triangle, AB is not equal to BC. So opposite side of AB and BC should be longer, which is AC should be longer. Okay? Next one. In any triangle, the side opposite to larger angle is larger. In this also, guys, I will take an example. In triangle PQR, this angle Q is the larger angle compared to P and R. So what is the opposite side to the larger angle Q, which is PR. So PR is always longer side. Okay. You can ask me why can't this is the longer side, this is longer side. Obviously, the angle, if the angle is greater, definitely the side opposite to that should be greater because elevation will not be possible otherwise. Okay, means if this is not, see, imagine that this is like this, then your triangle will form like this. Imagine that base is less and these are more. See the angle how it is formed. Okay, and now you check, this is more, these are less. Okay, let me take less, still greater than this. So definitely this angle will be more. Construction is like that. It is not exactly, not only the property. If logically, if you think about it, you will get the answer of it. Okay. It means obviously the larger angle opposite side is, or the greater angle opposite side is always greater. Okay. It means in any triangle, the side opposite to the, it's for all the triangles. Okay. Any triangle, the larger angle opposite side is always larger. Okay. I hope you understood this. Okay, and we will do one more sum. One more property we missed. Let me explain it. The sum of two sides of a triangle, of any triangle, the sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side, is greater than the third side. Okay, so here you are. you should understand one thing, okay? Sum of two sides of any triangle, let me consider a triangle ABC, okay? So ABC, it means what? For example, if this is 3 and this is 4, okay, this should be 5. That means 3 plus 4. See, AB I taken as 3 centimeters, BC I taken as 4 centimeters, and AC I taken as 5 centimeters. What this statement says? The sum of two sides of a triangle, it means AB plus BC should be greater than AC. Or you can take any two sides, okay? AB plus AC should be greater than BC, or AB plus one more, AB plus BC, AB plus AC. Next, AB plus yeah, all the things we have taken, I think so. AC plus CB also you can take. AC plus BC can take. AC plus BC is greater than AB. Okay. See, you can try with any two combinations. Always in any triangle, this is the general property. Okay. For example, in triangle ABC, okay, first you add any two sides. For example, I add 3 plus 4. Obviously, it is greater than 5. Correct? Understood? Next, AB plus AC, how much? 3 plus 5, which is always greater than 4. Next, AC plus BC, which means 5 plus 4, which is always greater than 3. Any two sides which you add in any triangle, the sum of any two sides is always greater than the third side. Okay, you can take any two. This 3 plus 5, it will be obviously greater than 4. 4 plus 3, obviously greater than 5. And 5 plus 4, obviously greater than 3. Any two sides. In any triangle, the sum of the two sides is always greater than the third side. I hope you understood. Any two sides you can take and you can apply this. Okay? Understood? It is not possible that this condition should be possible. Then only we can construct a triangle. Okay? What it says, any two sides sum is always greater than the third side. Okay? So, okay. Just let me go with another sum. It's an interesting sum. When you read this question, you'll understand. ST means show that. Okay. Show that in a right angle triangle, the hypotenuse is the longest side. Everybody knows that. Okay. When can you say it is a right angle triangle? Hypotenuse should be longer. Then only it is considered as, like right angle triangle. Otherwise, it may be a scalene triangle or obtuse angle or acute angle. Anything. So always remember, in a right angle triangle, hypotenuse is the longest side. Everybody knows. But how can you prove it? Okay. So here we have to prove that it is solution is that angle A plus angle B plus angle C should be equal to 180 degree. Why? Because we know this from angle sum property. Understood? Angle sum property. What is angle sum property says? The sum of the angles of a triangle is always 180 degree. Correct? So guys, in this angle A plus angle B plus angle C, I am just considering triangle ABC. Okay? I am just considering this figure which I drawn here. So in this triangle ABC, we have three angles. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree, and angle B we know, which is 90 degree, plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. And angle A plus angle 90 plus angle C is equal to 180. So angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree, which is 90 degree. Correct? Angle A plus angle C, how much you are getting? 90 degree. Because this 90 I am sending it to the RHS, sorry, 180 minus 90 will give you A plus C as 90 degree. So guys, remember here angle B itself is 90 degree. Correct? Angle B alone, like angle B measurement, angle B measure itself is 90, and angle A plus angle C is 90. So whichever the combinations you take, obviously it may be 45 plus 45 is equal to 90, or 55 plus another should be 35 is equal to 90. Like this, any combinations you take, these two angles always, okay, you will get less. Okay, so which is the longest side here? So obviously AC will be the longest side. Okay, understood? Because AC is the longest side. Why we can say AC is the longest side? Because angle A and angle C are lesser. Why? Because angle angle A and angle C are less than angle B. That is the reason AC can be longest side. Okay, understood? What I am trying to say. As just you remember this property as we discussed, the angle opposite to the side opposite to the greater angle is longer. Correct? Side opposite to the greater angle is longer. And here also observe in these three angles, which is the greatest angle or greatest angle. Angle B is greater, right? Compared to angle A and angle C, which is the greater angle? Angle B. So according to that property, angle B opposite side is AC. So definitely that should be longer. Correct? You can just use that property. You will not get confused with anything. Okay? So I'll just explain this once again. We have to prove in a right angle triangle that hypotenuse is the longest side. So we are assuming that consider triangle ABC. In this ABC, angle A plus angle B, we know the angle sum property. What is that? Angle A plus angle B plus angle C should be equal to 180 degree, and also angle B value we know, measurement we know, which is 90 degree. So angle A plus 90 plus C is equal to 180 degree, and angle A plus angle C is 180 minus 90. This 90 you send it to the LHS or RHS. So 180 minus 90 is 90. So angle A plus angle C should be 90. Remember, angle B is 90 degree, angle A plus angle 2 is 90, angle C is 90 degree. It means what? Obviously angle B is the longest angle, or is the greater angle. Because angle A and C, when you add angle A and angle C, then you will get 90 degree. And angle B alone is 90 degree. Then you think which is the longest angle, which is the greater angle? Definitely angle B. Correct? Angle B is the larger angle or greater angle. So means if these two numbers, if you add, then you are getting 90. And this B alone itself is 90. Then which is the larger angle? So angle B. And according to the property, just now we discussed, in any triangle, the side opposite to the larger angle is larger. So we proved that angle B is 90, which is the angle, angle B is the larger angle. Okay, we can write this. Angle B is the larger angle, or angle B is the greater angle. So, if angle B is the greater angle, side opposite to greater angle is longer. Hence, AC is longer side. Okay, you can write this also. Okay, understood? We can write that condition easily. You can understand. Okay. First, what we have to prove? We just take ABC. Sum should be equal to 180, and we know angle B is 90 degree. And if this is 90, angle A plus angle C, we are getting 90. So B alone itself is 90 degree, and angle A and angle C, after adding, you are getting 90. So we came to know that angle B is the greater angle. So obviously, we know from the property that the side opposite to the greater angle is longer side. So greater angle opposite side is angle B, opposite side is AC. So obviously AC is the longer side. Means AC itself is hypotenuse. Remember, AC we are proving that AC is the longest side in the sense we are proving that hypotenuse is the longest side. I hope you understood this. Okay. Thank you. And please comment, like, share and subscribe to our channel, and refer your friends and help them also. Thank you.